Hi, Barry Foster here, and welcome back to A-League to the UK. This is episode number 21 in the series featuring the Newcastle Jets in the Australian A-League. And today we have our final game in the Asian Champions League Group H against April 25 from North Korea. But before we get to that game, our form since our last video has been absolutely excellent. As you can see, we start off with Perth Glory. We played them at home and we had a resounding 4-0 victory over the Glory with Nick Ansell, Matthew Miller and Angus Thurgate getting on the scoring sheet, with Miller getting a brace. And that was an excellent performance by the team. We then beat Western United 2-0 at home. Thurgate once again being a scorer, and Jake Brimmer from the penalty spot. That was a bit of a surprise. We then travelled up to Japan to play Sakai FC in the Champions League. We were going to show that game in a video, but I decided to skip forward to the final game in the Asian Champions League. But against Sakai FC, we had a very good 4-1 victory with Wilson, Stamatilopoulos with a brace, and Angus Thurgate also getting a goal as well. Harry Clark, he actually scored an own goal quite late in the game, but it was still a very good result against the Japanese side. We then travelled to Adelaide and we beat Adelaide United 4-1. We came from a goal down, and once again Stamatilopoulos getting on the score sheet, Mark Sykes and Matthew Miller, and this time Liam Reddy, the goalkeeper for Adelaide United, he got an own goal. And then the final game we played was at home against Wellington Phoenix, and we once again played pretty well, came away with a 2-0 victory. Costa Petratos scoring a goal and Matthew Miller once again. But today we've got this final match against April 25. And we'll just have a very quick look at the group stage. As you can see, Buriram United from Thailand, they've qualified for the second round. They're sitting on 15 points. We're 3 points ahead of Sakai FC. I'm pretty confident if we can get a good victory today against April 25, I think we will qualify for the second round of this tournament, which would be a very good thing. And the second round is a knockout stage. It doesn't go into any groups. And we'll take a very quick look at the league table. As you can see, after 23 games, we are sitting top of the table on 52 points. Sydney FC and Western Sydney Wanderers, they do have a game in hand, but they're both sitting on 43. Brisbane Roar on 37, Western United 34, and Melbourne Victory, the Big V, coming in 6th on 30 points. But today, let's go and play April 25. I really am expecting a good victory here against this North Korean side. So let's go and see what the boys can do. Okay, so this is our lineup for the game against April 25. Fairly familiar. Woods in goal, O'Toole, Clark and Donachie and Galloway across the back line. Wilson sitting behind Melling and Thurgate in midfield. Petratos on the left, now Sykes on the right, and Stamatilopoulos will lead our attacking line. Unfortunately, I've only got 6 players sitting on the bench because we do have Brimmer still injured. Also Valentino Yule, he's still out injured as well. And Matthew Miller, I've got him on the bench because he is still tied. Even though his heart is nice and green, as you can see, he is still tied. So I'm not going to risk him. I want to make sure this guy doesn't get injured because he's such a good player for us. He's scored 12 goals already this season, which is really excellent. Stamatilopoulos, he's scored a total of 21 to date. So he's been in red-hot form. But I think Sykes can do a job for us out there on the right. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. So let's submit the team. Harry Clark, yes, he is lacking a bit of match sharpness, but anyway, we'll take a punt and we'll get to the match. And as you can see, managerless April 25 sports group. And Jerry Payton reckons we should just go out there and carry straight on where we finished last time. Well, I think I'll go with that. He can do the tunnel interview as usual. And of course, this is a night fixture. As you can see, 5 straight wins for the Jets. April 25, 5 straight defeats. So I do keep my fingers crossed that we can get a very good win today. I'll be very disappointed if we don't, because Sakai FC are probably capable of getting a result against Buriram, even though Buriram are undefeated in the group to date. But anyway, this is April 25 in the all-white strip, making the first attacking foray of the match. That was a good tackle by Wilson. We have offered Harry Clark a contract to be a Newcastle Jets player next season, and that's a penalty. So I think we'll let's just have a look. Is Scott Galloway going to be the best player to take this penalty? I don't think so. I really don't think so. In fact, none of those really fill me with a great deal of confidence. Yeah, look, I think we'll go with Scott Galloway, although with a penalty rating of 8. I thought somebody there might have been better, but we'll keep our fingers crossed that Galloway can do the job from the spot. If Brimmer was in the squad, he would be taking this kick. Well, he can. So that's 1-0 to the Jets, only in the second minute of the game. I really thought my team would have had better penalty takers than that. But to be honest, I haven't paid a great deal of attention to that side of things. But anyway, he did the job well from the spot. So that's 1-0, and that's what we were looking for. It's funny, in some of the home games, the Newcastle Jets play in an all-white strip, which is an away strip, and I'm not quite too sure why that sometimes happens in the game. Now, we really should have made it 2-0 there, so that was a bit of a poor miss. Hopefully it won't come back to bite us. But anyway, this is April 25 with possession. Not a very good pass, in fact a shocking pass, and Stamatolopoulos, well, he's got the ability here to make it 2-0, and he won't. It's going to be a corner. Well, normally he's pretty deadly when he gets through, even on a bit of an angle like that. And this is Petratos. We're thinking of offering Petratos a new contract, but he wants to be an important player, and I really don't think he's that good at the moment. So contract talks have not really progressed very far, but I still have a sneaky suspicion that maybe we can do slightly better than Costa Petratos for the left side of the field. But anyway, 5 shots to 0 so far. Interesting that the North Korean side have had 60% possession. That's quite surprising. Very surprising indeed. But they're certainly not doing a great deal with it. Stamatolopoulos playing pretty well. So is Melling in midfield. He's not a bad stand-in for Bremer. And this is Galloway with the throw, and he's got it back. Now Thurgate to Wilson. Wilson's done a pretty good job in that position of defensive midfielder. Here's Stamatolopoulos. Petratos. Oh, good save by the keeper. I thought that was going to be 2-0. But the North Korean keeper did very well to get down to that ball. Now this is O'Toole. Now O'Toole, can he maybe get a cross in? He does. Once again, not a bad header, but a good save. Straight at the keeper. I'm toying with a change of formation for the next season. I'm thinking of playing 4-2-4, going with 2 strikers and doing away with the defensive midfield position. I just like the idea of having 2 strikers on the pitch. In a private save with Brentford, I've switched to a 4-2-4 and it's working very, very well. And I do like the look of having 2 strikers in your forward line, but we'll have to see whether I go ahead with that. But it is in the back of my mind. I have put Sumao on the transfer list. The big fellow, he's about to turn, I think, 32, later this month. And he hasn't been getting much match time this season because Stamatolopoulos has been in such fantastic form. So he's been really sitting on the bench and getting a little bit on the grumpy side because he's not seeing much football. And we've also got a bit of a financial issue at the club where we're about $1.5 million in debt, which is not very good. So I've got to try and bring that down. So I have put him on the transfer list. With at the moment only one club, MacArthur FC, may be interested in the fellow. But anyway, to the dressing room, and Jerry reckons we've played well so far, but there's still room for improvement. I think I'll go along with that. I think I would have liked to have seen more than 1 goal on the board come half time, but we've still got the lead, and that's the main thing. That was a fairly good tackle there by the North Korean player. I guess elsewhere, Buriram United must be leading Sakai FC because they are sitting on 18 points now. So they've done very well, that Thai side. This is Thurgate with a free kick. And there's the second, Harry Clark. The central defender. Obviously up for a header, but he gets the opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net with his feet. And it's Donachie heading it down for his teammate at the back in Clark. So I'll be surprised if April 25 can really come back and worry us from this position. Most of the boys are playing very, very well, which is very pleasing to see. Only 1 shot from April 25. It's interesting, they've got 4 corners to R3. The corners in the Football Manager 21, they do have me puzzled often. But anyway, that's maybe a discussion for another day in another video. Anyway, this is Galloway with the throw to Thurgate. A third goal would be very nice to see. Here comes a pretty decent looking cross, and there it is, Stamatolopoulos with his 22nd goal of the season, and that's what he's been doing all season long, putting the ball in the back of the net. So 3-0, this is going to be quite a canter at the moment. And Galloway with a very good cross, and Stamatolopoulos just lost his man and beat the keeper. So with about a third of the game to go, I think the Newcastle Jets might be able to add to this scoreline. Probably shouldn't speak too soon, but April 25 haven't been causing us too many problems. Even though at time they've had a load of possession. And obviously they haven't done a great deal with it, but that's a nice movement here. They're passing it all the way back, almost to the centre circle. Well, they probably should have put one past the keeper then. It wasn't a bad move by them, but poor finishing. Let us off the hook. I think we'll go to the bench and we'll make some substitutions. I think that'll be quite a good thing to do. I think what I'd like to do is get Kantarovsky on for Mr. Wilson. Goodhue, I think I'll bring on for Angus Thurgate. He can have a bit of a rest. And we'll leave one more substitution up our sleeve for maybe a little bit later in the game. This is a throw for the North Korean side, but straight to a Newcastle Jets player, and this is Stamatolopoulos. Trying to beat his man, but didn't succeed. I must admit, next year I'm going to have to do a better job registering players for this competition, because I really did it very poorly this time, and we really didn't have enough players for this competition. And when injuries bite you, you're left very, very short. So next season I'll have to make sure that I register more than what I did this season. This is Sykes. Hasn't played too badly out there. That's Petratos with a header. With about 15 minutes to go in the game, 17 shots to 3. Possession now slightly in favour of the home side. And I think we'll go to the bench for our final substitution. Excuse me, I think we'll get Nick Ansell on for Mr. Donachie. He can maybe see out the final 10-11 minutes of the game. Once again, April 25 with possession. They often look very good in possession with their passing, but often it comes to nothing. Well, famous last words. There you go. You say something slightly negative and they come up with a goal, and it wasn't a bad goal either. I really thought the keeper had that one covered, but it beat him. So 3-1 now to the Newcastle Jets. But this was quite a nice shot from just outside the D, and yeah, Woods. I thought Woods would have had that palmed away, but it beat him. So well done to the North Korean side. At least they have scored. I think it might be only their second goal in this tournament. But I don't think it's going to do them any good. We'll call out a bit of praise to the boys, because overall they have done pretty well in this game. They've done their job quite well. 4 minutes of added time, and this is Sykes. Comes the cross, and Petratos makes it 4-1. Or maybe Mr. Petratos should get a new contract. He's giving me a few things to think about if he can score like that. But very nice cross, and Petratos, very good header. So that is certainly icing on the cake for the Jets. But can April 25 make it 4-2? I think this victory, I think it's going to put us into the second round. I'll be very surprised if we don't get through. There's a chance that we won't, but I think with the points on the board from in the group and the goal difference, I think it will put us in very good stead. And this is Stamatolopoulos. Oh, he's missed it. Well, he doesn't often do that. That was a very nice move, but no cigar. And another highlight. Bit of a speculative shot there from long range. This is young Goodhue. He hasn't seen much of first team action this season. We'll have to take a look at some of the youngsters too to see if some can be brought into the first team. There's one in particular that I'm thinking about. I think it's Jai Oakes, a striker. It was a good save by Woods, but this young Jai Oakes, who looks as though he might have pretty good attributes, and he might be able to do a job for the first team next season. But anyway, this is a corner, probably the final piece of action for the game. Petratos putting it back in. Now Kantarovsky back to Petratos. Ooh, he tried his luck but missed. So that's it, full time, 4 goals to 1. 20 shots to 5. Interesting that possessions slightly favouring April 25 and corners 5 apiece. But on the scoreboard, the Newcastle Jets did extremely well, and you've got to be pretty happy with that. So Jerry can do the old tunnel interview after the match. And as you can see, Buriram United finished on top on 18 points, Newcastle Jets on 12, Sakai FC on 6, and poor old April 25 with a big fat donut. But if we have a look at the final score in this group, Buriram United 5 goals to 1 over Sakai FC. So that's a very, very big win for them. They're obviously quite a good side. So there we have it. We finish in second spot on the group. We receive another $70,260. But we are knocked out of the Champions League. Newcastle Jets have failed to qualify from Group H in the Champions League. Well, that's really surprising. I really thought we would have done enough just to get through, but we haven't. So that's a bit disappointing that we didn't get through to the second round. But anyway, we can now concentrate on the league, the remaining league matches. And Galloway did do very well with a goal and 2 assists. So we'll certainly shake his hand and tell him he was very good in front of goal. The press conference, I think Jerry can handle that. So there we go. That's it for the Champions League this season. A little bit disappointing that we didn't get through to the second round, but Buriram United were clearly the best team in the group. And as you can see, our next game is in 4 days' time against Melbourne City in Melbourne. And just looking at our schedule, we haven't got too many games left. We've only got 3. So I think what we'll do, we'll play Melbourne City and Central Coast Mariners offline. And then we'll come back for the Western Sydney Wanderers match. That'll be away from home as well. And that'll be quite a good game, really, because Western Sydney Wanderers are currently sitting in 3rd position with a game in hand on 43 points. So I think they'll give us a good run for our money down in Sydney. Anyway, that's the video for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Certainly it's been another good victory for the Newcastle Jets. The team are certainly in very, very good form. I just hope they can keep this form leading up to the final series and also take it into the final series. But anyway, that's it for today. I'm Barry Foster. Until next time, it's goodbye from me.